integration in logical learning.
Today we will learn about plant reproduction. Plant reproduction is the process by which plants generate new individuals or offspring. It is an inherent characteristic of all living organisms to continue or maintain their races by the mechanism of reproduction. Let's see different modes of reproduction in plants. Modes of reproduction are of two types, asexual and sexual. New plant arises from vegetative parts in asexual and new plant arises through reproductive part in sexual. No spore or seed formation happen in asexual reproduction and fruits and seeds are formed in sexual reproduction. A mode of reproduction determines the genetic constitution of a plant and helps to understand its characteristics. If we look at a plant, we notice that it consists of different parts. The parts of a plant can be categorized as vegetative parts, which include leaves, roots and stems, and reproductive parts, which include flowers. A flower may either possess male parts or female parts or both male and female parts. Flowers perform the reproductive function in plants. When the male parts and the female parts are brought in together, the gametes fuse to produce fruits that bear seeds. These seeds inside the fruits germinate to produce new plants. However, the vegetative parts of the plants are also capable of giving rise to new plants. The mode of reproduction are of two types, asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. In this mode of reproduction, plants can give rise to new plants without the involvement of male and female reproductive parts. In this mode, plants do not produce fruits and seeds. Asexual reproduction in plants can occur in a variety of forms. Types of asexual reproduction in plants. Asexual reproduction in plants take place in two ways, naturally and artificially. Natural methods of asexual reproduction include self-propagation. The different ways in which a plant self-propagates are mentioned below. Plants such as ginger, onion, dahlia, potato grow from the buds present on the surface of the stem. A stem tuber has severe eyes on the surface. Under favorable conditions, these eyes sprout, producing leafy shoots. Vegetative propagation and new plants are developed from a portion on the main plant S body. It can be reproduced both naturally as well as by the artificial method of vegetative propagation. For example, onion bulbs are reproduced natural propagation. Rose and banana plants are produced are artificial methods of propagation. The most common techniques of vegetative propagation are stems. Runners are the stems which usually grow in a horizontal from above the ground. They have the nodes where the buds are formed. These buds usually grow into a new plant. Roots. A new plant is developed from around inflamed modified roots called tubers. Example, sweet potato. Leaves. In some plants, detached leaves from the parent plant can be used to grow a new plant. They exhibit growth of small plants called plantlets on the edge of their leaves. Example, bryophyllum. Budding. In this mode of asexual reproduction, new plants grow from an outgrowth or bud in the plant body. Fragmentation. New plants are developed from fragments of the parent plant. Apomixis. It is the type of asexual reproduction in which seeds are formed and the embryo is developed without the fusion of male and female gametes. Citrus trees commonly use these methods of asexual reproduction by using their seeds. Artificial methods. Following are the artificial methods of sexual reproduction in plants. Cutting. In this method, a part of a plant is cut along the node and is buried in the soil. The cutting is watered regularly. This is the cheapest method of vegetative propagation in plants. Grafting. In this method, the parts of two different plants are joined together such that they continue to grow as a single plant. The rooted plant is known as the stalk, the other plant is known as the graft. Layering. This is the method of producing a large number of plants from an explant under laboratory conditions within a short time interval. This facilitates the growth of rare and endangered plant species that are difficult to grow under natural conditions. Micropropagation. This is the method of producing a large number of plants from an explant under laboratory conditions within a short time interval. This facilitates the growth of a rare and endangered plant species that are difficult to grow under natural conditions. Sexual reproduction. This mode of reproduction involves the production of new plants through embryos developed by fusion of a male and female gametes. In sexual reproduction, a fusion of male and female gametes produces fruits that contain seeds. The seeds give rise to new plants. A flower is the reproductive part of a plant which can either be unisexual or bisexual. Stamen is male reproductive part and pistil is the female one. Sexual reproduction divided it into 3 stages. Pollination, a process in which the pollen grains are transferred across the another to the stigma of the same flower or to flowers different plants. There are 2 types of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Zygote formation. After the transfer of pollen grains, the male gamete is transferred down through the style of the pistil to the ovary where the male gamete is fused with female gamete to form a zygote. Fruit and seed formation. After fertilization, a formed zygote is developed into an embryo. The ovary develops into fruit and ovules into seeds. Thank you for watching.